Hi, everyone. It's your host, Dr. Sarah Gallup, giving a quick announcement. I was planning to release the next episode about the people of Trenton Psychiatric Hospital, but I had the most wonderful/terrible thing happen. I stumbled upon an absolute gem of a story that I absolutely need to share with you, but I'm going to need a little bit more time to put together. Now, last week I teased that the next episode in this series will feature the story of a self-described doctor. And I found just today copies of his memoirs of his time, both in and out of the asylum. It is absolutely captivating, and I promise it will be worth the wait. So stay tuned for that. I'm really excited. So in addition to this so-called doctor story, I'm going to feature the very famous case of an actual doctor who was a patient at the New Jersey State Hospital at Trenton. Most of you will be familiar with his story, but maybe not the entire truth of his mental illness, his life, his career. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that amazing story next week as well. I'm also planning to add another true crime episode afterward, which will feature the story of two notorious killers who were hospitalized at Trenton. These are stories that I haven't heard featured on a podcast before. I did look them up just to see if other podcasts had covered them. Of course, one of them is covered by Last Podcast on the Left. They've done just about everything. So we'll discuss those men's crimes, their hospitalization, and the aftermath, where they are now. So that episode will come out in 2 weeks. In the meantime, if you would like more Dr. Gallup content, and really, who wouldn't? I encourage you to check out my recent interviews with Gabrielle Critchlow on her show Hot Topics. I have 3 videos there about mental health issues, 2 episodes specifically on schizophrenia, and 1 episode on bipolar disorder. So if you'd like to learn more about those disorders, how they're really often misrepresented in movies, and what it's actually like working with individuals with these disorders, I encourage you to check those out. The interviews with me are not available in podcast form yet, but you can see the videos on YouTube. So I'll include a link in the show notes in the Facebook group and on Instagram. She has guests who discuss all sorts of fascinating topics like entrepreneurship, other mental health issues like ADHD, what life is like as an immigrant, study abroad experiences, racism and reparations, near-death experiences, so many great topics to learn about. And you can listen to me discuss mental health issues if you'd like. So again, the host is Gabrielle Critchlow. Her show is called Hot Topics, and her business is A Step Ahead Tutoring Services. Thank you all so much for your continued support of my show and for your patience as I work on what I hope will be a very memorable episode. I'm looking forward to sharing these 2 stories with you next week, so please stay tuned. As always, I hope that you will rate, review, and subscribe to my podcast wherever you listen. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please take an extra minute to leave a quick review. It would help me and the show a lot. If you'd like to support the show, be sure to check out the podcast mentioned in the ads. You can also offer a monthly donation to the show starting at $3 a month on the Buzzsprout page. So that will help me offset some of the costs of production. Wherever you are listening around the world, thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you're enjoying the show. Stay in touch on the Facebook group page. If you're not part of that yet, send me an email at behindthewallspodcast@gmail.com and request an invite. Thank you so much, everyone. And of course, remember the words of Maya Angelou, do the best you can until you know better. And then when you know better, do better. Until next time. Thank you so much for listening to Behind the Walls of the World Psychiatric Hospitals. Once again, I'm your host, Dr. Sarah Gallup. Cover image is by Christopher Payne. Check out my website at behindthewallspodcast.buzzsprout.com. Follow the podcast and learn more on Facebook at Behind the Walls Podcast and Instagram at Behind the Walls Pod. For questions or recommendations, email me at behindthewallspodcast@gmail.com. You can find new episodes every Monday on Amazon Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you're listening right now. If you like the show, please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. It helps other people find and listen to the show, and I would be so grateful. Please stay tuned for more episodes of Behind the Walls of the World's Psychiatric Hospitals. Until next time.